she used to pass comments on children who could not speak English properly. If she came across a grammatical, not just comments on language, but even on the physical appearance. The principal was very encouraging. Not that she appreciated me, but I was so happy to be a part of this particular competition as the comparer. So after 2 years, I got to know that this particular teacher was arrested for some reason, some kind of legal action. And we had a board member, and this particular person had no idea about the objectives or the learning methodology of the curriculum. Hello, welcome to another video on my channel. I hope you all are doing great. Thank you so much for all the mails that you have been sending me. I'm going to share some of the situations that I came across and some of the incidents that happened to me in my life. Of course, the topic for today is what is not to be expected from a teacher, what is not to be expected of mentorship and guidance. As you all know, life is full of ups and downs, and we have got both the good and the bad in life, and that is how we groom ourselves, and that is how we become strong and develop ourselves as a better human being. So when we talk about teachers, we have got reverence, we respect them, and of course we are something today or someone today because of them, the teachers, parents, everyone, right? Now, bad experiences also come our way, and I think we need to talk about it. Now, this particular video is not to abuse or complain against anything, but it is only to spread awareness on the attitude and approach that can really discourage a child, that can discourage a teenager, that can discourage an adult. So I will just share some of the experiences that I encountered in my life, and I'm very sure that you'll be able to relate with at least one or two of the upcoming situations that I'm going to elaborate. Now, these people that I'm going to describe through this video, they taught me what is not to be expected of mentorship and guidance. They taught me what a teacher shouldn't be or how a teacher shouldn't be. And that helped me in my mentorship right now, in the mentorship career, and also that has taught me to evolve myself as a mentor, a guide, and also as a tutor. Coming to the experiences. Okay, so the first incident took place when I was in school, when I was in grade 10. Okay, and this is with reference to a geography teacher. Okay, she joined our school. She was the only teacher who had a doctorate in the school. And it's very good to speak about your achievements. You should be proud of your achievements. But this teacher, particular teacher, always had airs about it. She used to always flaunt her achievements in such a way that it became very irritating for people. You know, when you brag about it, when you keep on constantly speaking about it in a very boastful manner. Anyway, that's okay. That's a way of expressing her hard work and achievement. Now, my point is, she was very good in English. She had good communication skills also. She used to pass comments on children who could not speak English properly. If she came across a grammatical error, of course, it's good to talk to the student and to correct the student, and that is why teachers are there. But she used to publicly pass comments in front of the other students, sometimes in front of elders. And not just comments on language, but even on the physical appearance. I don't think that is expected from a teacher. That is not something that a teacher should do. So I have noticed boys and girls shrinking to her comments and completely cringing to the comments that she used to make in public. So I told you I'm not against the comments that she makes, but the way she puts it, no, it's not good. So if you're listening to me as a teacher, as a parent, or as a guide, make sure that you talk to the person personally and also put it in a very soft and polite way and try to understand the situation. So this was the first experience. Now, the second experience is all about an English teacher. So we had a competition at school. The competition is called declamation. Okay, so I've given the description there. What is a declamation? Of course, you must be knowing about it. We have come across debates, discussions, elocution, poetry, recitation, and such kind of events and activities. But this was a competition that was launched in our school specifically for the first time. So the principal was very excited to invite judges who were really popular and who were into the public domain of speaking. And they were also teachers in other schools. They were teaching in other schools. So this was a competition conducted for grade 8 and grade 9, and I was in grade 9. So all the English teachers, they made an announcement saying that you have to write on a particular topic. They gave a topic and said, write on this particular topic and you need to read it out in front of all the English teachers. Our teachers told us that you can read this time because it's the first round of selection. There's another round of selection also. So you can read first. You don't have to by heart. You don't have to learn it by heart because we don't know whether you're going to be selected. So give your best. And I also went home. I referred some books. We didn't have internet then. And then I wrote 2-3 paragraphs. I don't remember the topic actually. It was a nice peer pressure or something. That was the topic. I don't remember the exact topic, but anyway, I wrote something on it. I gave examples. And in front of all the English teachers, we took turns to read out the paragraphs. And I got selected in the first round. There was another round also. Now, in the final selection, we had almost 15 to 16 participants. And one of the English teachers was not very happy. Why? And of course, we have got students whose parents teach in the same school or who are a part of the faculty. So this particular girl's mother was a teacher. She was part of the faculty. And the English teacher was not very happy because this student's mother was her very close friend. So she was not happy that this child was not selected. For some reason, the participant was not selected and the English teacher from some other class was not really happy. She came to me and said, Rini, why don't you back out? You spoke very well. Can you please back out because this particular student, I don't want to mention the name of the student, she wants to be a part of this declamation competition. We are introducing it for the first time. Would you mind backing out? It was actually a request, but it was in the form of an instruction. I could sense instruction and kind of interest and partiality that she showed towards the student. So maybe she approached other students also, I don't know, but still I didn't want to say a no. I didn't want to say, no, ma'am, I don't want to back out. I want to also be a part of the declamation competition. I said, okay, ma'am, I will back out. It's okay. Let her take part. And let me come to the whole incident. Let me elaborate the whole part also. If I was in her place, I wouldn't have done this. But still, I was not a part of the competition. I was really sad because I took a lot of effort to prepare for the speech. I got selected in the first round and also in the second round, and many children wanted to be a part of it. And then my English teacher one day came and told me, Rini, we want somebody to read out the rules for the competition. Just before the competition, this is something that is launched for the first time. So we want somebody to read out the rules, that too with clarity, with assertiveness, and the person should have good pronunciation. So we just thought of asking you, can you do it? You just have to prepare and read in front of all the English teachers. If fine, you are not a part of the competition also. So I think you are the apt person to read out the rules and also compare the whole competition. So I was very happy. After the competition, the final day arrived. My principal was standing next to the podium or wherever we were speaking. The stage was there. And after the competition, there'll be some time for the judges to tally and calculate the marks, right, before announcing the results. And my principal caught my hand. I was standing on the stage, and she was right she was standing right down near the platform, and she caught my hand. So I just bent over and asked, yes, ma'am. So I thought she's going to give me some instruction. And she asked me, why are you not a part of the competition? So I said, ma'am, I was a part of the competition. I had to back out because one of the teachers asked me to. So I just told in a very polite manner. And she said, okay, fine, all right. But you should have been a part of the competition. Anyway, good. You read very well and the comparing was very good. So that was like an achievement and a certificate for me. The principal was very encouraging. Not that she appreciated me, but I was so happy to be a part of this particular competition as the comparer, as a person who read the rules. So that was really a kind of motivating and encouraging situation. But if I was in that place of the teacher, everything happens for a purpose. I know that. I know that you are thinking about this, but still, if I was in that place, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have asked a participant to back out. Okay, coming to the next situation. Okay, so this happened with a physics sir. It was a male teacher, and he used to take tuition classes for the subject physics. And I needed some help when I was in grade 11. And I took help from this particular teacher. I used to go home, I used to take classes, and he had almost 5 to 6 batches of children from different parts of the country because he was very good in the subject. He used to take tuition classes in the subject. He was good with the subject also. But one thing that I noticed about this teacher was, of course, every teacher will have a kind of affinity or a kind of soft corner for children who are very good in the subject. But this teacher, for some reason, did not like certain students, or you can say 1 or 2 students in the class for some reason. It's not connected with the academics. People may not have reasons to dislike or unlike a person, right? So this particular teacher, without any reason, used to find fault or did not like a particular student for some reason, even if the student was good in academics. So first I thought it's regarding the subject, or it's because the person is not working hard and that is why the teacher is upset. But it was not that. Even if the student was good with academics, he used to find fault. And what he did was, that was like fine. The first step is fine as of now. Maybe he did not have any basis, or it was an unfounded incident or situation that the teacher was trying to convey to the parent. So what he did was, he had some kind of dislike towards the student for some reason. He didn't like the student, and he used to communicate to the parents with reference to something else that was irrelevant to the subject and to the tuition classes. Did you understand? So what happened was that parents who had a very good rapport with their own child will not take it very seriously. They will have a good discussion with their own child and they will just shoo it off, right? But what if he was trying to convey the same thing to a parent who did not have a good rapport, a good understanding with the child? It could create the most difficult and hazardous situation at home, because a teacher is coming and telling something to the parent, and if the parent did not understand or did not understand the situation completely, it can really create worse scenarios at home. And I've come across a lot of my friends who went through this particular situation and said, I'm finding it very difficult to convince my parents. They have also started losing trust in me. I didn't do this. I'm good in the academics, but why is he trying to convey like this to my parents? Right? So I know that in such situations, we are no one to correct a teacher, especially a person who is respected in the society. But still, we all believe in dharma and karma as Indians and as from the holy Vedas and things like that, irrespective of our faith. So after 2 years, I got to know that this particular teacher was arrested for some reason. Some kind of legal action was taken against the teacher. And that took place after 2 years. But maybe he has been doing this over a long period of time. And there was a student who took the courage to bring out something that was not correct, or to bring out the misdeed of this teacher in front of the society or in front of the parents. I don't know what happened, because I had I was not in school at that time. Now, coming to the next incident, this took place when I was in college. So, we had a professor, very good professor, profound knowledge in the English language and literature. He was also respected in the college. And he had this habit of offending people if he did not agree to the conventions, ideology, faith, or belief of a person. So, if he's against an ideology or if he's against a religious faith or belief or whatever it is, and if he come across students who follow the same convention that he's against, he has got this habit of offending a group of students in front of the whole class. So he'll bring the topic in between the lectures. He will try to connect the topic connected with, suppose he's taking a particular subject or he's dealing with an area, he will try to bring in that topic again and again, only to mock and offend that particular group. So if he is against a convention, if he is against a belief, he had this habit of offending a group of group of people or group of students, saying that some students are like this, we also have got a group of people in our college, such kind of mocking statements. And that too, I told you that he was very good with the language. So he used to use very high advanced words to offend and mock students, which was not a very good practice. And I also learned from this particular professor to not offend, or this is not something that is expected from a professor or from a mentor. We need to tolerate, we need to understand or give space to the conventions and belief of people, even though we don't respect, or there are chances that you don't believe or you don't trust it, but we need to give the space until and unless they force it on you. Suppose they force it on you in some way, or if they are trying to invade your personal space, of course you have got the right and the authority to say a no or to defend it. But until and unless they don't do either of these things, any of these things, if it doesn't matter to you, if they don't interfere your space, then why do you have to pass such kind of mocking comments, especially when you're teaching in an institution, right? Okay. Now, coming to the next incident, this is regarding some of the colleagues that I had when I was a teacher's trainer. So I'll give you 3 particular incidents. So one is about an English teacher who was very good with craft. She loved decorating her classrooms, and her class was always lit up, different types of light, and she used to spend sometimes money to buy a lot of things to make her classroom colorful, and children love sitting in her class. But when it comes to the activity part, or when it comes to the execution of a plan, it was not carried out in the right way, right? So the output was not there. So it was more of exhibiting and displaying a lot of things in the classroom and not necessarily bringing out the productivity. See, when you take a lot of time to do something out of interest, make sure that it is executed or it is productive for the person or for your life. So I could see that this particular teacher took hours and hours to execute, to do a lot of things with regard to her passion of cutting, pasting, making a lot of things. But how does it help the children is also very important. So executing a plan is also very important. It's not enough that you have a lot of ideas, but making it productive and also suiting it to the need of the learner is also very important. The next one. And this is about the board of people. This particular school followed a different curriculum. It was not like the ordinary curriculum. I don't want to name the curriculum. And of course, it was a new institution, but still I cannot say a brand new institution because it was almost 5 to 6 years old. The institution was 5 to 6 years old. And we had a board member, and this particular person had no idea about the objectives or the learning methodology of the curriculum. Now, what happened? It's okay to not know or not to be aware about what you're a part of, but still you always should have the passion and the interest to develop on what you don't know, to work on it, to understand it better, to comprehend it better, and also to put certain things to practice so that the whole institution and the people who work in it grow, right, and progress. But this particular person was so complacent with the with the ignorance and with the lack of awareness. So I was very clear that she did not know anything about the curriculum. She did not know anything about the objectives. And as I told you, it's okay to not know. What happened was that she used to go to the extent of conducting meetings for her staffs where there was a lot of communication gap. A lot of communication chaos was actually, it was created eventually. And it was very difficult for the people to understand and comprehend with the chaos from where does it originate. Because when you work as a team and as a group, sometimes it is very difficult to locate the person who causes the confusion. And you will never have a kind of doubt on a person who is supposed to lead the team, right? So this particular person used to conduct meetings, and when you're not aware about a particular objective or when you don't know what is expected from you with reference to the curriculum, there are a lot of possibilities that you misguide a group of people, because most of the people understood that the person is not aware of it, but still they politely tried to throw some light. She was rigid and she used to just back off saying, no, this is the way it should be. So that created a lot of communication chaos and it finally collapsed. What collapsed? The system collapsed, not the institution. So when you have learners in front of you and when you understand that you don't know, always a mentor, a guide is a learner for life. The minute the passion and the minute that spark stops in your life to learn, to relearn and to unlearn, I think you should stop being a teacher. Now, coming to another person, the last example, there was another colleague who worked with me and she was almost 70 years of age. And I believe that age is just a number and you can learn anything at any time of your age. There is no bar. Until and unless you have the right mindset, you cannot blame that it's because of my age or it's because of such things. Of course, you will have physical problems, but still the mind is very strong. Now, this particular person had a lot of experience in teaching. And she was allotted classes in the primary school. She had the habit of squeezing the hands of little children to teach them something. So, of course, you know that little children, they find it difficult to focus or to pay attention for a long period of time, even adults. They don't understand certain things. So, when it's like that, we have to have creative ways or different ways of trying to catch the attention of the learners in front of us. When she, loses patience, when she's on the hard side, she flies off the handle and she becomes highly strung. Now, what do I mean by that? She gets agitated and she squeezes the hands of children so that they get scared and they give her what she really wants. That was not a good practice. And many people tried talking to her about it, but still the methodology and the pattern never changed. And she had the habit of rebuffing people who could not speak English or who were not able to communicate properly in the English language. So much of attitude was there, but keeping apart the attitude, squeezing the hands of little children to get what you want is not a very good practice. And I don't call that an experience also. So these are some of the things that I learned from the bad attitude and bad approach. We don't have to pay attention to the person. We don't have to hate the person. But what we need to get rid of is the approach and the attitude. So if something is toxic in your life and if you come across bad situation, of course you can write into me, and whenever I do another Q&A session, I'll definitely share the experience. If you want me to include your name and location, I'll do that. But if you write in the email, please don't disclose my name. It's okay, I'll do that. But let the experience that everyone has be a learning chapter, be a learning phase for people who are really listening to us. So let's learn together and let's get all the right attitude, all the positive vibes and all the good aroma that is there around people who are really working hard with passion, interest and determination. So always stay positive and bye-bye.